Hello everyone. So today I wanted to do a really fun, cozy, chill video, and I basically wanted to talk about some things that I've been loving recently. So kind of like an old school monthly favorites vibe, but it's not really monthly, it's just like, yeah, things I've been loving recently that I want to talk about. And I'm honestly so excited. I was compiling the list and I was like, exactly to me talking about these things, because I love talking about things I love, obviously. So we do have some books, some movies, just random things that I've been loving. It's also raining outside, so just perfect chill vibes. It's like 9 p.m. We have the candle going. I feel very cozy, so I hope that you can get cozy with me. And let's talk about some things that I've been loving. So first I want to talk about some new glasses that I've gotten from Glasses USA, who is the sponsor of today's video. So thank you so much to them. I have some really gorgeous new pairs to show you. So I'll talk about the styles in a second, but if you don't know, glassesusa.com is my favorite place to get eyewear for so many different reasons. Firstly, they actually cut out the middleman, so they're able to offer prescription eyewear at up to 70% off retail prices. So they have lots of affordable options on their website. They have over 6,000 styles to choose from on the website. So they have in-house brands like Muse and Amelia E, some of my favorites, as well as more designer brands like Michael Kors, Ray-Ban, and more. And they offer both eyeglasses and sunglasses, so just the perfect place for all your eyewear needs. And you can also add any type of prescription to almost any pair of frames on the website, including sunglasses, and they also offer blue light blocking glasses. You can get a complete pair of glasses, so the frame and the lenses, starting at only $30, and free basic prescription lenses are included with every frame. And the whole process shopping on there is very easy. They have a virtual try-on tool, so you don't have to worry about stressing about the frames not looking good on your face, because you can upload a photo of yourself and then you get to see how each frame is going to look on your face. And once you place your order, your glasses will enter production and will arrive at your doorstep soon. Standard shipping is free on all orders with no minimum required. And if for some reason you're not totally happy with your order, you have 14 days to return for a refund, product exchange, or 100% store credit. No questions asked. And another amazing thing about Glasses USA is that they have a prescription scanner app that is free to download. And if you don't have your prescription on you, you can simply use that app and use your phone's camera to scan your current eyewear, and it extracts the prescription details that way, which is amazing, like exactly technology. So now to show you the new styles that I got off their website. So the first are these glasses. These are the Ototo Danielle. I love how light they are, not only in terms of the design, but also like the weight of the glasses. It's very light. I barely feel it on my face. So a very easy everyday pair. Then I got this pair, which is definitely quite different. I usually have a neutral vibe for my eyewear, but I have always loved like red frames and I've wanted them since I was younger. So my childhood dreams have come true with these. Then for some new sunglasses I got. These are the Vogue Gigi Hadid. Very fun. Absolutely love the shape. I feel like this immediately enhances my confidence wearing these. So love them. So if you want to get yourself some stunning eyewear off Glasses USA, I will leave a link to the website below. So thank you so much to glassesusa.com for sponsoring this video. Now let's talk about some of my book favorites. Now obviously I talk about books all the time, so I decided I'm just going to talk about a few that I just want to gush about more. So first I just want to express my love for non-fiction and just learning as much as I can. I'm very excited about non-fiction at the moment, and you know, just learning as much as possible in this lifetime, you know. So the most recent non-fiction book I read was Hood Feminism. So this book focuses on intersectional feminism and misogynoir. So if you haven't heard the term before, misogynoir basically is misogyny directed towards black women, where both race and gender play a role in bias. And I've studied feminism, I've read quite a lot on feminism, and this one definitely had some fresh insights, so I really appreciated that. And obviously focusing on intersectional feminism is the only way to be a feminist. So very important, lots of good topics that I had not seen discussed in other feminist literature. Highly recommend this. The audiobook was amazing. And then I want to talk about my love for poetry, which I'm sure if you've been watching my channel recently, you have seen me fall in love with poetry. It's honestly such a huge part of my life now. I don't know how I was living without it. I wasn't living. I can't even explain how whole I feel just reading amazing poetry. I need to talk about the most recent poetry book I read, which is I Have More Souls Than One by Fernando Pessoa. And this was recommended by Diogo. Shout out to Diogo, amazing person. And this is a Portuguese poet, and look how cute this little edition is. This was like $2.50, so really cheap, which by the way, I'll have everything linked in my description. But yeah, I absolutely loved this. This is basically the biggest who am I in poetry form. If you know me, you know I'm always asking myself, who am I? I feel like I'm constantly having an existential crisis. I am always trying to determine what's you know, the meaning of life and all these things. So this definitely spoke to my soul. It definitely kind of has like a melancholic vibe. Like, it's not super hopeful, I wouldn't say, but it made me feel very seen and less alone. And it was definitely very unique. I just want to read you one of my favorite passages from the book. When I tried to take off the mask, it was stuck to my face. When I got it off and looked at myself in the glass, I had already grown old. This is one of my new favorite passages ever. I constantly think about this, how so many people are just trying to fit in, not being their true selves because of fear of judgment, not being accepted, etc. And I completely understand that not everyone has the luxury to fully be themselves because of lots of different reasons, including like safety and stuff. But it's obviously so important. Like, what's the point of living a life if you can't be yourself and be your most authentic self? Like, even just like things like embarrassment, literally who cares? Why would you live your life in fear of being embarrassed? Like, what even is embarrassment? You can't be embarrassed if you don't let yourself be embarrassed, you know? And I just feel like so many people are the same, and that is obviously for lots of reasons. As soon as someone acts different or behaves different or like thinks differently, people are like, oh, what's this about? It's no wonder so many people just want to fit in, because it can be exhausting constantly getting comments from people when you act different or dress differently or whatever. But it is definitely worth it to be your authentic self. So this is just a nice reminder, because also if you get too into the habit of putting on that mask, then yeah, it becomes stuck to your face and then you lose who you are. And when you finally get it off, you've already grown old. We don't want to do that. We want to live our authentic selves. So yeah, just can't wait to read more of his poetry. Okay, now I have to talk about Ariadne. I briefly mentioned this in my recent vlog, but I didn't really talk about it enough, to be honest, and I didn't finish it, I don't think, in that vlog. But I finished it now, and this is 100% a new favorite. This is exactly the book I needed. As a woman, I feel like it's easy to fall into the hopelessness of knowing that the patriarchy is a thing and will not be solved anytime soon. And I've definitely been feeling that recently. But this just helped me feel so seen and made me appreciate that women are in this together. It was honestly beautiful. I cried multiple times reading this, whether that be because of something sad in the story or just my love for women pouring out. Basically, if you don't know, this is a Greek mythology retelling, and it also shows how so often women are painted as the villain when the true villain is the man. Keywords, so often, obviously not all the time. And Jennifer Saint wrote this to talk about the forgotten women in Greek mythology. I feel like I keep saying I just loved it so much, but it's just so much that I can't even express. The writing, phenomenal, so many gorgeous quotes. The characters, amazing. The plot, amazing, which I feel like I don't talk about the plot that often because I'm not a plot-driven reader, so I don't usually care about the plot a lot of the time. But this was the first time in a long time where I've read a book and I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? Honestly, this book just had it all. The setting as well. Wow, the descriptions. So beautiful. That was one of my favorite things in The Song of Achilles, which is the other Greek mythology retelling I've read. And the setting in this was also just stunning. And I love The Song of Achilles, but I think I actually love this even more. Like, women. To give you an idea of the stunning writing. I know that human life shines more brightly because it is but a shimmering candle against an eternity of darkness, and it can be extinguished with the faintest breeze. Okay, so now moving on to physical items. So first I want to talk about some things that are key in my daily routine. I've gotten into some really good habits that are really key for my self-care and just mental well-being. So definitely wanted to share them. So first I need to talk about these affirmation cards from Dreamy Moons. I will have it linked below. Lots of people ask me about this. I highly recommend it. Basically, it's an affirmation deck. The cards are beautiful and it basically has lots of affirmations on it. So it comes with instructions on different ways you can use it. But basically what I do every morning is I take a deep breath, shuffle the cards, and I basically just kind of go with my instincts and pull out the card that's calling to me. So let's do one now actually. Okay, so this one says, I radiate love and gratitude. And I basically just take in the affirmation, repeat it out loud, put it on my desk and focus on that affirmation for the day. And it's just so nice to start off your day like that and to have these reminders and, you know, remind yourself of how you want to live life and what's important. And yeah, just highly recommend it. Then every morning I also use my Pillow Thoughts daily poetry calendar. This is for 2022 obviously, and basically this is a daily poetry calendar. So every day I rip off the page to reveal the poem for the day. Once again, perfect way to start the day, and it's just little things like this that make me excited for the next day, you know, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to read the new poem for the day. And I have not read Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Pepinell. That's the collection these poems are from. So it was kind of a risk when I got this because I was like, you know, hopefully I'll love it. Can confirm I love love them. Reading some of these poems in the morning have made me tear up. So the poem for today is, there is no time limit on realizing what you have lost. Some realize right away, and for others it takes longer. But they will realize when all the dust settles and the anger subsides, they will realize they have lost you, and the emptiness will hurt them more than they ever hurt you. Then I have to talk about my 2022 year of growth, which is from Dreamy Moons once again. And this is my daily planner. Look how stunning it is. It's gorgeous. And this is how I keep organized, but the reason I love it so much is because it has space for your weekly intention, things that you're grateful for. It gives you nice quotes. So for example, I am deeply present in each moment. And then it has end of the week and end of the month reflections. So for example, some of the questions at the end of the week can be, have I been good to people around me? Where could I have been more softer? And this has just been so helpful because I feel like not enough of us are taking the time to reflect. And it's been so helpful in realizing what's not making me happy, and if I can change that, I'm gonna make those changes. It's also making me more grateful for the things that I'm grateful for. It's just so important to reflect. So I love that this allows me to do so. And actually this planner is on sale, so perfect time to get it if you don't have a planner for this year. Highly recommend it. Another thing I've been using every day is this. This is the Aesop, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, room spray. And every night when I get into bed and before I'm about to sleep, I spray this, and it's just like the most calming smell and just makes me relax further. Oh my god, the serotonin right now. Yep, I am obsessed with this. It has pink pepper, lavender and tobacco. So good. Okay, now I want to talk about some tea. So this is some organic gingerbread tea that I picked up when I went to Adelaide recently. So I got this from Gewurz House. They have so many amazing items. But yeah, I picked this up and whew, it's so good. I love gingerbread stuff. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I'm absolutely gonna get this. And this is my first time having a gingerbread tea and it's delicious. This definitely is adding a lot of happiness to my life, so I need to talk about it. Another thing that's adding a lot of happiness is this. This is a Kiki's delivery service light. It's so pretty and it lights up. And it's Kiki on the cloud. I love it, and usually when I'm at my desk at night I light it up, and you know, just the magical vibes just makes me feel happy, cozy and at home. And obviously I love Kiki's delivery service. So, and the last physical item I wanted to talk about are my new roller skates, actually rollerblades. I am so happy because I used to love rollerblading when I was younger. I used to like go down hills, do tricks, like I was so good. And obviously I outgrew them eventually and just never got new ones. So it's been years since I've rollerbladed. But obviously I've seen the Impala skates around. Most people have like the ones with the 4 wheels. So I think those are the roller skates. And I've always just been like, oh no, I want the roller blades because that's what I used to do when I was younger. And I feel like the roller skates are harder. Every time I tried them on them, I was like, I don't know how to do this. I recently saw that they came out with roller blades. I have been eyeing them for ages. And then I saw this color specifically was on sale for like $100 off. And I was like, it's time. It's time for me to get them. And I absolutely love them. Honestly, there's nothing like the feeling of rollerblading with the wind in your hair. It's pure happiness. And I love this style. It's obviously like a pinkish red. Well, it's like a pink that fades into red and has like the flames. So fun. I thrive when I rollerblade. So thank you to Impala for these. Well, not that they sent them to me, I bought them, but just thank you for coming out with these because I love them. Actually, one more thing, I wanted to talk about my favorite lip gloss, which is the Glossier clear lip gloss. I love this lip gloss. It is so wet looking. Like I just love when my lips look like drenched and wet and so moist. I know some people hate that word, apologies. But yes, I love this lip gloss. It's also not very like sticky, like it's not that gross feeling. So, you know, this is just key in my life. So I had to talk about it as well. Okay, now to talk about some film and TV faves. So I have recently started watching the show The Midnight Gospel. This is a show on Netflix. It's an animated show and I believe it's from the same creators of Adventure Time. And basically this is based on a podcast. I haven't listened to the podcast, but the show definitely has a podcast vibe because there's mainly just like talking with like random stuff going on visually in the background. And I haven't finished it yet. I'm on episode 5, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate the show. I have been feeling very overwhelmed and just heavy with the life recently. This show has really helped me feel lighter and feel seen and feel comforted. And basically this follows this like alien Clancy who runs a space cast. It's like a podcast. So he goes to different universes and interviews different people or creatures that he meets and just asks them the questions about life death, humanity, just all of that. And that's exactly the topics that I love to talk about. So this definitely was right up my alley. There's definitely been some really interesting insights, and I honestly am going to rewatch it once I finish and have my notebook out to write down key learnings. I just love it and just highly recommend it. Then I need to talk about the film Spencer. I literally am obsessed with this movie. I couldn't stop thinking about it after I watched it. I still can't stop thinking about it. Like, it was definitely one of the best movies I've watched in a while. I just felt so inspired. So this basically follows Princess Diana's existential crisis at Christmas because she wants to divorce her husband and leave the royal family. And I don't really know anything about the royal family. I really don't keep up with that. But you know, I decided to watch it and I'm so happy that I did because wow, it was definitely one of the most unique films I've watched. It's basically like a psychological horror drama, and the cinematography was beautiful. Everything about it was beautiful. I felt so inspired watching that movie. I literally wanted to come home and edit and just like create. Like, I just felt so invigorated. Okay, now I want to talk about Dollface, which is a Hulu show. Basically, Dollface is about a woman who is in a long-term relationship. I believe it's 5 years. And her boyfriend suddenly breaks up with her. She doesn't see it coming and she's obviously like very shocked and her world's like fallen apart. And she definitely made her relationship with that person like her whole world. Like, everything was about his life, his friends. She definitely drifted from her other close girlfriends because she was focused on that relationship only. So she's learning why that's not a good thing, reconnecting with her old girlfriends, learning how to be happy on her own and all that. And honestly, yes, 1, very relatable, 2, so empowering, 3, just so focused on the love of women and female friendships. And I feel like there aren't many shows out there that focus specifically on female friendships and how complex they are, how important they are. I just love this show so much. Jessie from Boathouse and Books recommended it to me. Literally love Jessie so much for this. Well, for lots of things, but also for the fact that they told me I need to watch this because they were so right, obviously. I'm just in love with it. It has so many good actors as well. It has Brenda Song, London from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. It has Shay Mitchell. I love all the characters. I love their friendship. It's also funny. It discusses lots of different topics. And season 2 is currently being released. I've watched the first few episodes that are out, loving it, and yeah, I just can't recommend the show enough. Okay, now I want to talk about a few people who I've been just loving recently. So the first is Orion Carlotto. Absolutely needed to talk about her. I'm literally in love. She is a creator, poet, lots of different things. And I basically found her because I saw her book Film for Her in the bookstore. And then I started following her on Instagram, started watching her YouTube videos, and she isn't posting much recently, which is a bit sad. But I have been watching all her previous like YouTube videos and I just love her. She makes me feel so happy to be a woman and a bisexual woman, and she has such a cool personality. She has such a good energy. I just love her a lot and can't wait to read her stuff like Film for Her, and she has another poetry book as well. She just really inspires me, so I'm very thankful that I found her. And another person I've been obsessed with, Ocean Vuong. He is something else. He's a true gem in this world. He's obviously an amazing writer, so his poetry and words inspire me, but also just him as a person, everything he has to say. I've been reading some of his essays, and I also listened to the podcast on Being where he was featured as a guest, and that podcast episode, wow. Ocean Vuong is just so eloquent, so wise, so just beautiful inside and out. Like, one of my favorite humans ever, so had to talk about Ocean Vuong. Okay, and the last category is just like some random things I want to talk about. So first I want to talk about the Finch app. I briefly talked about Finch in a different video, but Finch is another key part of my daily routine. Basically, Finch is a self-care app, and you basically have a little pet, your little finch. You get to name them, you get to choose their gender, you get to dress them up, customize them, all that. And basically your little finch gets energy from you doing self-care things. So for example, if you set goals for the day, it gives them some energy. If you write down how you've been feeling recently, it gives them some energy. So basically they cheer you on and want you to do things that are good for yourself. Like, how cute is that? And they also give you little reminders. So my finch is called Hazel. So sometimes I'll get a random notification from Hazel saying like, you've got this. And honestly, I've had that notification come up at times where I'm literally having a breakdown and I see it and I literally am like, Thank you. Like, I love my little Hazel. And it also has like breathing exercises, yoga exercises. So every night before I go to sleep, I usually do like a deep breathing exercise, do some stretches. It also has like rain sounds and stuff that you can use to go to sleep. It is just such a good app. Like, I love it. So highly recommend it. Then this is super random, but I wanted to talk about the Pussycat Dolls Buttons music video. Caitlin and I have been watching some old school music videos recently, and we watched the Buttons music video, and I was obsessed with Pussycat Dolls growing up. Should have known I was bisexual then, but anyway, love them. The Buttons music video, wow. Obviously the song is so good, but yeah, the music video, the choreography, like, I just love it. And honestly, just watching music videos, I've been watching lots of them recently, like I said, and I realized that's one of the things that inspires me the most in this world, like just watching a nice music video. I love it. Reminder to watch some good music videos or some nostalgic music videos for happiness. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the Jack Harlow chicken shop date video. I love Jack Harlow, and the video where he goes on the chicken shop date, absolutely love him. He has the best personality, and that video just makes me smile the entire time. So I had to talk about that. But anyway, those are some of the things that I've been loving recently. I feel like this video is so long, I apologize. But I actually had such a good time just being chill, sitting down, talking about some things I've been loving recently. So really hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you so much to glassesusa.com for sponsoring this video, and I will have the link to their website in my description, as well as all the styles that I showed you guys. I would love to know things that you have been loving recently. If you're looking for more content from me, I have a Patreon where I upload extra content like extra reading vlogs, we do a monthly live show, we do a monthly buddy read, etc. Actually, I should probably say, in March we are buddy reading Starfish, so it's going to be a reread for me. If you don't know, this is one of my favorite books, so I'm very excited to reread it and very excited to discuss it with everyone on Patreon. I have all my socials linked below, including my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/gamewithchloe, and that is where I stream games and just chatting. So yeah, I hope you're all having a good day or night, and I will see you in my next video.